US Highway 191 turning right at 491 in Monticello will be our route all day today. It will be nice to fill up just our non-emergency water bottles since we'll have an opportunity for services in Monticello, Utah and Dove Creek, Colorado. We will cross into our fourth state of Colorado today, and I'm hoping for a nice photo op at a Welcome to Colorful Colorado sign. The Narragansett Reservoir and McPhee Reservoir will be a welcome sight, marking our arrival into Mulva, correction, that's Dolores, Colorado. You're gonna get a kick out of where I stored my bike last night. Next to the creepy abandoned pool. Continental breakfast. Good morning from the United States of America. It's day 21, Wednesday, June 5. Specifically, I am in Blanding, Utah. Doesn't seem to have quite the charm of some of the other small Utah towns we've gone through. Just leaving the Roadway Inn where we spent the night. They had a continental breakfast. I had for breakfast a bowl of Raisin Bran, a bowl of Frosted Flakes, a hard-boiled egg, a yogurt, 2 cups of orange juice, a bagel. One half was butter and jelly, the other half was peanut butter. And what else am I missing? I think I ate even more than that. But I'm leaving with a full belly and headed across another state line into Colorado today. All right, up here is the A&W restaurant that I didn't go to yesterday. I know it's sad, but I was so exhausted when I arrived at the hotel, and the A&W restaurant was uphill and into a headwind, and no way. But after the taco truck dinner, I did in fact go to the grocery store and I got some ice cream. A half gallon to share with Peter and Paul. And that kind of did the trick. Wasn't as good as what the A&W freeze float thing would have been. There'll be other opportunities. I used a new app for today that I was aware of called Epic Ride Weather. And how it works, you input a GPX file, that's the track of where you're going to be going on the bike, and then you specify what your start time is and what your average speed is going to be. And it provides you with this scrollable page of information, the most valuable of which shows arrows along the route of what the winds are going to be like. The longer the arrow, the stronger the wind. So I did that for today's ride, and it told me I'm going to have headwinds at the beginning, but not as strong as I climb out of Blanding, which I might even be starting now. But the benefit is I will have tailwinds on, maybe the latter third of the voyage today, and then crosswinds in the middle. Hopefully I'll put up an image of that wind map so you can see what I'm talking about. That provides some valuable information. I paid $2.99 for a month of it, and if it's good, I'll pay for the next month to complete the trip. We got the biggest climb of the day out of the way first thing in the morning. I like that because it's when I have the most energy, it's when the temperature's the coolest, it's when the winds are the lightest, although they've picked up now. Climbing like 4,400 feet total today, and already done 1,700 of that 18 miles into the ride. into the 85-mile ride or so today. So yeah, there'll be hills scattered throughout the rest of the ride, but the toughest one's done. I have good news to share. It's been a few days since we've been angry honked at, me at least. There's been some encouraging honks. Those are like the toot toots, you know, as they pass you. Laying on the horns as they pass you. Those are the angry honks.
Monticello, Utah is pronounced Monticello, not Monticello. Funny story, I was in a middle school spelling bee and was asked to spell the word cellist, as in one who plays the cello, but the judge pronounced it as cellist. I figured it was a word I wasn't aware of and meant somebody that sells something, so I spelled it Sellist. Shame on that middle school spelling bee pronouncer. Monticello is home to The Hideout, which is the #2 golf course in Utah according to Golf Week, and home to one of the 14 uranium mines that were used in the Manhattan Project.
I stopped at the Blue Mountain Market in Monticello, nice little independently owned grocery store, and found a coconut water. That hit the spot, and they let us use the sink in the back to fill up our water bottles. We met a group of 15 or so Danish men who were in matching shirts and doing a tour of hiking in the American Southwest. So good for them. They chose a beautiful part of the world to visit. Good job, Peter. How you doing?
Fine.
Good.
So,
It's another day in paradise.
yeah.
The Centennial State's elevation profile is what I expected. Extreme mountains in the western portion of Colorado, and then the geography becomes almost Kansas-like in the eastern portion of the state. That flat valley in south-central Colorado is called the San Luis Valley and measures 74 miles wide and 122 miles long, with its southern tip extruding into New Mexico.
Made it to Colorado. I can see my first glimpse of proper Colorado Rocky Mountains in the distance. But the thing I'm most excited about is that my wife Allison and dog Sherlock Holmes are meeting me for a rest day in Dolores. I am 45 miles away from seeing them. Couldn't be happier about it. Also, Allison's bringing me some goodies. Some stuff I ordered and some stuff she's bringing to me. I think my mother-in-law might have made me some snacks. I'm getting leftovers from Delhi Palace, my favorite Indian restaurant that Allison went to with a friend for dinner last night in Flagstaff. And I'm getting a new crossbody bag to replace this one that's ripping here at the webbing. This just has to make it another 45 miles and then this thing's going in the trash. I'm also getting a replacement mount for this camera right here. Because right now it's on a selfie stick, which has a terrible wobble to the head of it. And that's taped and zip tied to the handlebars. Pretty janky. Gonna get a proper mount, and so won't have to deal with the horizon leveling thing. All that. What else? A selfie stick to replace this one, so that doesn't rock left and right, and so I can do more, talking to the camera off the bike, which I haven't done for the past week because the selfie stick's been mounted here. And I'm getting a pair of white compression pants. Now, it's get something clear. There's not exactly a line of people waiting to line up to see me in my black compression pants. I don't exactly have the compression pant body. And if people aren't lining up to see me in black compression pants, that line gets even shorter when we're talking about white compression pants. But I hope they will be cooler and not cook my lap like these black ones do. And one concern is, what happens when it rains? Do white compression pants become clear compression pants in rain and sweat? We will find out.
Welcome to Dove Creek, Colorado, the pinto bean capital of the world.
Whoa! You can't be serious right now. The Family Dollar and Dollar Tree under one roof? Oh my! So this is what's going on behind Paul's bike seat right now. And you're gonna have to guess what happened. Was it the taco truck from last night? No, the honest truth is Paul tried to store a banana back there and it got smushed, but it's very inopportune. We stopped in Dove Creek, Colorado at a little market to fill up our water bottles, and they made fresh ice cream shakes in a large cup for only $3.60. That was nice and refreshing. Cooled us from the inside. 35 miles to go to Dolores. I stopped at a farm by the side of the road, hoping I could fetch some water, and I got lucky. A cowboy was there. This guy was a proper cowboy, hat, boots and everything, named Brandon. And I said, "Could you spare some water?" And the next words that came out of his mouth were wonderful. It was, "How cold do you want it?" I said, "Oh, as cold as you got it." So he showed me the water cooler, and I filled up my belly and my water bottles. Feeling good. Thank you, Brandon.
Cajon, Colorado was the English spelling of cajon, C-A-J-O-N in Spanish, meaning little box, referring to a canyon in town.
Paul and Peter went for a swim. I'm on a bit of a time crunch. Gotta get to Dolores, so I'm not gonna hop in. But that looks refreshing. When I was saying earlier today, I hadn't been honked at in a while. Well, I got an angry honk here on this road to Dolores. And you never guess what vehicle type it was. Yeah, it was a pickup truck. So, what is the connection between ownership of pickup trucks and honking at cyclists? Who can connect that for me? Any psychology researchers listening to this video who can give me that connection? I'd love to hear it. Or the other explanation is, no, David, every vehicle type is equally as willing to honk at you. It's just been an insane, crazy coincidence that 100% of the vehicles that honk at you are pickup trucks. There we go. Done with my little rant.
We then rode into a town called Mulva, Colorado. Oh, correction, that's Dolores, Colorado. It's Spanish for Dolores, meaning pain or sorrows. It's where we get the Dolorosa in Via Dolorosa, the way of suffering.
Mechanic found 2 broken spokes and said that riding with the broken spokes
gave damage to the rest of it, so he recommended a new wheel, which is down in Cortez. They can get here tomorrow. So hopefully the stretch limo will finish this ride with a new rear wheel. Scott at Kokopelli Bike and Board is my new hero. The man found a replacement rear wheel in the back and replaced a tire tube that was out. He indexed my gears, he fixed my water bottle cage. I got this new wheel because my old one had 2 broken spokes and was useless, and he charged me $50 for all of that. I feel like I got $400 worth of service for $50. He did it while I waited, and I can't believe it that my bike behind me is good to go. I'm so grateful, and just waiting here for Allison and Sherlock to show up. They should be here in about 5 minutes.
All right, Dave, tell us what you're doing right now.
My mother-in-law knows that one of my favorite snacks are these Scotcheroos. They're kind of like a Rice Krispie treat, but with peanut butter and chocolate on the top and butterscotch mixed in, and they are delicious. And I can eat as many calories as I want. Thank you, Mom Hoekstra. I love you.
Hey! Fam's back together!
I was remarking this is the longest I've ever gone without being in a car, possibly in my life. It's 22 days since I've been in a car last, and it feels crazy. I feel so enclosed. Allison's ordering us dinner from a food truck at, I believe we are at the Dolores River Brewery, but I am not sure. Greetings from beautiful Dolores, Colorado. It's David here with Sherlock Holmes. And the daily recap, today's scenery, I would give an 8. And the difficulty was an 8. Challenging, but not, debilitating. I'm not going to include road conditions anymore for 2 reasons. 1, at the end of the day, I often forget them. And 2, they change so much. Like, it can be wonderful with a huge wide shoulder that could fit a car, and then for the next 20 miles there's no shoulder and I'm riding on the painted line. So I won't include that. Overall feeling of positivity, I'll give an 8 because I'm with my wife and my puppy, but I do have, from 2 nights of sleeping in a tent, a very sore neck. My wife gave me a little neck rub this morning. I took some ibuprofen and hoping that clears itself up by tomorrow when I set off again to Durango.